Alright, so here's the compost pile that I've been working on. See, I just did a ring 3 straw bales high. One's just laying on edge, or laying flat. The other ones are stood up on edge. 30 to 1 ratio, as best as I can figure. I haven't even added any water yet. I had just a little bit of a light rain, and it can't really see it in the picture, but it's already starting to steam off the top. So it's already kind of working, and I haven't even activated it yet, so that's cool. It's smaller than what I think I need pile wise, because my house doesn't have any insulation in it. It's a pretty big house. I don't heat the upstairs, but you know, the no insulation thing is a big problem. Oh, maybe you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it once in a while. There's steam coming up. Yeah, you'd probably see it there. But yeah, I haven't even added any water yet, so that's awesome. I haven't done any plumbing yet. Just got this thing together, you know. So I did pull the caps off those tubes, and I blew in one end, and the other end came out pretty hot. Surprisingly, it's pretty warm down to the center even. So there was just a little bit of residual moisture and it took off, or if it was just enough rain to get it going, I don't know, but this stuff was really dry when I mixed it. But yeah, I'll get the plumbing finished here soon, and we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. Just out here messing around, kind of doing some plumbing here. Like I said before, I never added any water to this other than the little bit of rain we had. I noticed the steam. I just wanted to see how hot it is already. Let's see. Here's your outside temp right there. And let's just probe that in there real quick and just see what we get. It's coming up pretty quick. Still creeping up, and I haven't even added any water yet, so in my eyes I haven't even activated this pile yet, but it's already starting to take off. We got a lot of heat already. I bet you I'll hit 160 if you let it sit there for long enough. Oh wow, I ain't taking any time at all. Wow. That ought to move a lot of heat into the house. We'll see. It's still climbing too. Yeah. Got 3/4 inch lines running up. I'm going to insulate those, and I think probably just pool noodles, and then maybe wrap them in something and run them to the radiator in the house. So I'll keep you updated. Alright guys, I'm about a month into it. I hope you can hear me. It's really windy today. I'll try and block whatever wind I can, but it seems like I can only do so much. The pile's sitting at about 160 degrees on the inside right now. Probably can't see any of the steam coming off it right now. It's real windy. It's just pulling away any heat that comes off. I took all the leaves from the yard and threw them in here just for insulation, as you can see. So there's like a foot of leaves in there. One thing that I had to think about is because I have all of the tubing all in there, got 100 foot of that 1-inch PEX tubing coiled in there, I couldn't flip the pile when it needed to be aerated, and I couldn't control my pile temperature. So what I did was I buried this corrugated drain tile. It's got all the little, I don't know if you can see them, little slits in it. I buried that under the pile in like a horseshoe shape. And I got this fan right here that I made. I'll open that up for you. I call it my active aeration. It's just essentially just a fan on a timer. There's a timer box back there. Here's the fan that ties into this tubing. And it just pushes air into the pile, just so I can control the temperature. You know, you don't want it getting too hot, because a really high temperature will destroy your beneficial bacteria. So you can control your temperature. If it gets too hot, it starts climbing up over 160, and I can keep oxygen in the pile so it doesn't become anaerobic and start stinking. So this way I can keep it active really well. I run it for a couple hours every night. It's just on a timer. I don't have to touch it. It just does it. The pile temperature will drop a couple degrees when it's running, so I know it works. Here's the tubing that came out. I wrapped it in, like Home Depot sells just foam insulation for, you know, plumbing. So I put that all down the line, and I took stretch wrap, like pallet stretch wrap, and wrapped the whole thing. And it just runs across some benches just to keep it off the ground the best I can. That's one thing you got to do is when you make your coils in here, you want to put like 2 foot of compost and then make your coils, because the ground will act like a big heat sink and pull all your heat. So just something to think about. We'll go in the house here and I'll show you what I got going on. I don't fully heat my house with that. I actually built a oil burner, a waste oil burner. So I get all the, you know, I generate a lot of waste oil because I got the farm here. All the neighboring farms got waste oil. My buddy works at an auto parts store, and there's a couple different auto parts stores that just give me free waste oil. So if you got any interest in something like that, you know, just look for that video. Let's see. So here's your lines coming in. I made just a little board that goes in. The window just clamps down on it. Your tubing runs in from there. It goes this way, comes into the radiator, goes through the radiator, comes to a circulator pump, and then it just goes back out to the pile. This is just a liquid radiator, like a baseboard heater. That's all it is. Let's see. It's not real hot right now. It's rained really hard the last couple days. That's cooled my pile down, but you know, I got just a little under 100 right now. And this thing, it generates a lot of heat. You can feel a lot of heat coming off of that. I'll run a fan down there just to pull the heat off, but I just leave that running all day. It just plugs into the wall. It just sits on a little stand, so when you're done at the end of the year, you just take it out. But it does generate a lot of heat. It's been pretty cool so far. There's the pile out there. Yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's been a cool little experiment. I might build an even bigger pile next year. I'm not sure, but so far so good. I'm about a month in and it's been maintaining temperature. So we'll see what it does when it gets real cold out, but right now it's about 38. So it's fairly cold. But thanks for watching, guys.